What's up, friends? It's your boy GP with DeOrganized Media, bringing you another awesome episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars into the same room, have a dope high-frequency conversation, and talk about the latest Bitcoin world news, alpha fresh and hot off the presses, you name it, we got it with DeOrganized. I hope that you had a very blessed weekend. I hope that the grass was very nice and treated you very lovely. I hope that you were surrounded by love and had the highest frequency vibes on your weekend and, got off on the right foot on the start of your new week. Let's go. Bitcoin got a little pump today, looking very, very nice. Let's take a look at the chart for a second. I mean, why not? Let's take a look really quick. Let me connect trading view. And that is not the Bitcoin chart, but that is the stacks chart there, looking like it got a little bit of a move up. It's still in the green for today. It is just a little bit before it closes. Let's look at the daily and see how long until it closes. Looks like it closes in about 33 minutes, and we might be closing in the green today. That might be cool. But yeah, let's look at, oh no, that's not even it. But yeah, so yeah, we might close in the green, guys. Let's go. All right, taking a look at Bitcoin on the daily chart. Look at that. Nice, two nice green candles in a row, two green days. Green day. All right, so last 4 hours on the 4 hour chart, looking very nice, looking scrumdiddly umptious, sitting around 114k right now. So dope. Moving on into the news for a little bit. Let's see if we can manage to pull up the news on the bookmarks this time. I can't remember if I left it there or not. Let's see. And that is not my bookmark. So of course you could always count on that. Even if you can't count on Bitcoin to go up or down whenever you're betting offsides on the market, you can definitely bet on GP not having this bookmark pull it up and then having to refresh the page at a time like this. It's crazy. I'm not trying to get to X organizations. Can I pull up my bookmarks, please? Can I? Okay. It's crazy stuff. Anyways, I'm working it. I'm trying to do the news here. But of course, I have to click every wrong button at the right time. Okay, so I got to the bookmarks. Struggle bus is real. It is big enough for GP today. Coming from the Stacks AI Guild, and you can follow them at Stacks AI Guild. Hidden risk for Clarity Devs trait implementations can quietly move your assets. Here's how and how a new proposal could fix it. This is talking about the new proposal by Bryce, I think. Yeah, it's Bryce. Big shout out to Bryce. A new Clarity 4 proposal wants to add post conditions to as contract. You could define safety checks like my balance of this token must not drop below X. If the calls break that rule, it reverts automatically. I think that's based even more safety baked into Clarity 4. Definitely give the Stacks AI Guild a follow. They have some really, really great content, and they're doing some very awesome stuff within the guild. So stay in the know with the Stacks AI Guild. Lovely animation here as well. This is very interesting. Cryptonauts. This is a handle you should be following. That is at Cryptonauts_STX. We submitted a D-Grants application. Super based. If you do not know, you need to be following BoostX_app and Cryptonauts_STX. So this is the first third-person shooter game built on Bitcoin via Stacks with on-chain activity influencing the gameplay. It's going to be cool. You'll be able to hold different NFTs, get different, skins, customized skins for your Cryptonaut, and, go shoot them up, have some fun. So check this out. Big shout out to Crypto Dude, Crypto Smith, and the whole BoostX team. Cryptonauts to the moon. This was an awesome one. This was baked in today or yesterday. This was the Screen Fiends AR that will be in Cryptonauts. Crypto Dude cooked this up. So yeah, big shout out to Crypto Dude. Follow Crypto Dude underscore BTC to stay in the know about everything Cryptonauts, BoostX, and there's a lot more coming. Pay attention, guys. It pays to stay in the know and be early. Coming from the main Bitflow handle, and that is at Bitflow underscore finance. Institutions need real yield and zero slippage. That's what we are building. So institutions needing zero slippage and real yield coming through. Like, hello, where are the gains? So yeah, big shout out to Bitflow. You need to follow Bitflow. Stay in the know. Coming from the main Stacks handle here, that is at Stacks. Bitcoin Perps at BellRBTC. Wow, you need to be following BellRBTC. I could already tell just the energy. Like, you're not following Bellar. You should. You don't know that we have native Bitcoin perps, right? Like right on here on Stacks, man. Just sitting right there on Bellar. Big stuff over the weekend with Aster and a couple different things about perp dexes across the timeline I saw, and somebody had the audacity to say that all these perp dexes and none of them are actually a dex. Well, actually, you're mistaken, good sir. Bellar is also a dex for SIP10 tokens. Don't sleep. Bellar perps right there based. And Munib actually came out on the timeline earlier this weekend and said that they have been in talks with Mythil from Bellar, and that they will actually be meeting up in Token 49 in Singapore to talk. So stay tuned. Perps getting juicy. Let's go. Right here, Mr. Wolf is like inquiring about Dex Screener and gets an answer actually with the Notion doc and how things have moved forward. Great stuff. Getting stacks listed on Dex Screener has been a priority for a long time. And Mr. Wolf got vocal and he said, "Hey man, what's up?" So they got some stuff. It's in the works. Soon, my friend, soon. All right, and then here we go. Here are some questions for tomorrow. I'll write them here in advance. Talking about SIP10 tokens on Dex Screener, of course. Stacks leadership, like Munib himself, must step in if needed. Yes, Munib, please get involved, dude. We need you to help us out in some of these instances, like getting listed on Dex Screener would be a huge unlock. People want to know about the DeFi that we have in Stacks, and getting listed on Dex Screener is a no-brainer. Perp Dex, Tier 1 stablecoin, major wallet integrations. So that is in coordinates with the office hours, Hero office hours, SIP31 and lab updates tomorrow. Set your reminder just like this. You click that button right there, boom, and it is reminder set. I am pushing that to the top of my list. That is at 3:30 tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. ET, Eastern Time. All right. I see Spaghetti Punk, new Spaghetti Punk drop equal best minting mechanics. You can literally trade on-chain points stored inside NFTs and use them to mint, sell them, buy them, etc. Referral punk or referral. They have a referral system, so you can earn some stacks back too. Base tools. Big shout out to Mr. Wolf. Coming from Bellar here, the people's buyback is here. We're implementing 100% revenue buyback on Bellar. Every single dollar from DEX, Perp Dex, Bridge, and Launchpad flows directly to token purchases. This changes everything. Huge. Bellar got a huge pump this weekend, and I am not surprised with this Perp Dex meta and this big news. Big things coming to Stacks. Coming from Hermetica Phi, that is from the Hermetica handle, that is Hermetica Phi. Stable is good. Stable with yield is better. Stable with yield and backed by Bitcoin is what you deserve. Earn with USDH. If you do not know about USDH, it is the first Bitcoin-backed stablecoin in existence. Ditch your fiat-backed stables like USDC that you're using to buy a shitcoin called XRP that is centralized garbage that has really no use case. Yes, they are partner with banks, whatever you want to. $10,000 XRP is crazy. But anyways, yes, USDH. Back to the track, right? USDH, get you a Bitcoin-backed stablecoin. Cool. I will definitely repost that. You can go to my timeline. That is at GPSC_STX. And there you go. You can go find this post. The Hermetica Hangout is back this week. We're hosting Zest Protocol to talk Bitcoin credit markets and how to unlock Bitcoin yield with USDH. Tune in. Dave and Zest Protocol. I imagine that's the advisor going to be talking about Zest. I love it. I will be there. 12 p.m. ET. Love it. Not quoting this. I just want to repost it. Okay, and I got some based guys in the back, just waiting to come on. Get through the Stacks news eventually. There's a lot of stuff going on in our ecosystem. I mean, a lot. Come hang out with the Stacks community in the Zest Town Hall AMA. It's the perfect place to discuss new developments in Stacks, hear Web3 updates, and have fun together. Tune in on Wednesday, the 1st of October at 11 a.m. EST. Let's go. Coming from the main Stacking DAO handle, that is at Stacking DAO. What's happening on Stacks? Here's everything you need to know from the last few weeks. We can skim over this real quick. SBTC cap has been lifted. Gate, a top 10 global exchange with 300 million users, has officially listed SBTC. We got Stacks Lab hiring a CMO. Token 2049 in Singapore. And more. Velar announced 100% of their revenue will go toward buying back Velar. Big news, big news, big news. Follow Stacking DAO. Get into the Stacking DAO and Zest Discords. I am the Zest and Stacking DAO community manager, and I have a based activity schedule getting ready to drop for October, or shall I say October. Let's have some fun. Pack your bags at the bottoms and lows, and huddle on and stay strong, and let's have some fun. Coming from Joe Vez, just wanted to let you know that a new era of Stack starts now. This was about the Treasury Committee. We may get into this and talk a little bit about the guys on the committee today. Users are earning real Bitcoin rewards just by holding SBTC, no lockups. Move your SBT or your BTC to Stacks and earn up to 5% APY. It is true. Go check out bitcoinismore.org. I wanted to talk to the guys about this. This is from House of Chimera here, right here. Let's just dissect this a little bit, guys. So it's good that you have SPTC on there, right? But this token list needs a little bit of updating as well. Like Lydian, that was like a hack way back when. They're not even around anymore. We've got a couple. We got Gus on there. That's nice. You got Charisma on there. That's pretty cool too. I don't know why Uru is on there, but we got better token, a better token list. Our SIP 10 community is very rich. Is very rich in talent and also innovation. So you guys just want to see a little bit more research on this. It would be really cool to see a legit token list. Also, we have a lot more IPs in this as well. But this is a good cover. This is good coverage, I guess. This is pretty good. All right, you got Megapont at least, right? You got BNS. Those are the two pretty big ones, though. But we got like Giga Pepe V2. We got Spaghetti Punk. We got some builders in this ecosystem there. Just a little bit more in the wallet area too. We have Leather and Express, which are our main wallets over here that we use too. Stacking, you don't have Stacking DAO in here at all. Should definitely have Stacking DAO in here. We have also other liquid staking platforms as well, or LSTs, in here that you could put. Custody, good stuff. It says that it was updated September 2025. That is this month. So let me help you do some research together, and would love to kind of get you in the know about what is going on the ground floor. Just hit me up. So here we go. Real perps are built directly on Bitcoin via Stacks. Pass it on, and you should definitely repost this. I'm going to push it to the top of my timeline, and then I'm going to bring the guys on because this is a lot of news. And then maybe it's multi-chain day. We got Bitcoin high yield, highest yields in the Bitcoin in the Stack, highest Bitcoin yield in the Stacks ecosystem here. Boom, boom, boom. SBTC with Dog, PBTC, and STX up to 12% for Dog. Solid. And then that's about it. So let me bring on the guys. We're going to talk a little bit about the D grants that's going on right now and applications and all that stuff. Sorry about that. So there are D grants is taking place right now. So let me get this right quick. Bring on the guys. We got Hero Gamer in the house. We got Crypto Dude, Pep Toshi, and Jackman Switch, all in the building. What's up, guys? How are we doing tonight?
What's going on, man?
Working, dude. The grind is real. There's so much going on in this ecosystem right now.
Dude, it is. It's a lot. And like there's so many grants that we have to look over coming
Oh,
up.
I know it. I know it, dude. I'm glad you showed up because you're one of the stewards of D grants, and that was, that's what we're going to be really talking about is these applications, right?
Yeah, well the interim grants too. We got interim grants. The deadline is September 30th, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like so if it there's some people still grinding away, getting ready to put their submission in, right? So we've got that, and I think the deadline for D grants is on the 8th, I believe, of October.
Yep.
Yeah. So like, dude, it's a lot, and it's really cool because, well, let me monologue here for about 5 minutes so I can finish this thought, if that's okay.
All right, ready?
Let's hear
it. Just kidding,
So,
dude.
like,
tell us, Jack. Educate us.
You see, like everybody who's like anxious right now. And I get that. I respect that. I was anxious this time last year. And like people who watch DeOrganized and people who know me and everything, they know this. And there was no shortage of people getting told about what I was anxious about. So like since then, since last year, we've seen a lot of things transpire. It's very easy to get lost in the sauce, but like the Stacks roadmap came out right early in 2025, like, hey, this is what we want to do. And then it's like SIP 31 came out and like, this is how we're going to get it done. And, so you had to go through the whole process of getting SIP 31 done and making everything legit. And now we're at this place where it's like, we're ready for it to happen. Well, it doesn't officially happen until October 1st. Right. And so like, I get it. Like I'm there. Trust me. I'm right there with you. The difference is like, I'm bullish on us. Okay. Yeah. The difference is I see like what all of that anxiety that was expressed around the beginning of the year. I see what it has wrought. It has gotten us a roadmap that I can get behind. It has gotten us funding. It's getting us a CMO. And now we're sitting here on like, I don't know how many grants. There's going to be like, what, 30 plus from the D grants right now.
There's already at least 30.
And then there's a ton of grants on these interims. Now, is everyone going to get a grant? No, of course not. That's not how that works. But like just this like little piece of progress is spurring development. That is what this does. We've got grants that have come in from people who have built on other ecosystems. We're like, oh, I can go build on cool. Like, because I don't have any more money to build where I'm at. So I can just bring my stuff to Stacks. Maybe I'm going to apply for that grant. Right. And that's just a piece. That's just a piece of the puzzle. We've never had a CMO before. We're going to have a CMO. And you know what? Like we've got to keep up the pressure. I have no problem with pressure. Pressure is good. But it's just very important to keep in mind that like we are actually, if we zoom out, to me, this looks like progress. And that's what I'm focused on. And I think in reality, that's the most productive thing you can focus on because you can't fix shit that happened yesterday. Can't fix shit that happened 5 minutes ago. All you can do is like work on making the future right. So I'm very bullish on it. And I like seeing all of these applicants. And I think that, we have a lot to do. And one thing that I'm very adamant about is, now that we have like this new Stacks Lab entity, yes, like now it's like, okay, if something's not being done, who takes ownership of that? Somebody. We've got this one box. Somebody in this box owns this bitch, good or bad.
Yep.
Resulted.
There's nothing. There's results.
Right.
Results. Like it doesn't get in limbo. Like it's theirs or theirs or theirs or theirs. Yes. Dude. Yeah, I agree that change is happening, Jack, because Munib answered somebody, Mr. Wolf, on a
Right.
Sunday.
Right. No, like,
That's change.
and look, and again, like, part of what has to happen is we're in crypto. People, we have to have the Stacks account up and running on weekends. We
Yes,
have to
we
have
do.
people
Or we'll miss
ready,
a lot of metas.
right. We have to have people ready to roll. Like, I'm not surprised about what happened to Velar. You know why? Because anybody who knows me knows how bullish I've been on Velar for years, literal years. I've sat here on Spaces, on DeOrganized, on all these things, being like, dude, Velar perp decks, Velar perp decks.
Stacks has the potential to create the meta right now.
Right. And we just have to do things right. We have to be forward thinking. We have to be strategic. We have to make good moves. Okay, but we have all of the tools in the chest available to do these things. And so I'm excited about all of this. Do I want to see the community passionate, engaged? 100,000%. Yes, we need to be passionate, engaged. Do we deserve to drag House of Chimera for like doing this thing? Dude, that's a KOL account. Like, I don't have a whole bunch of high standards for KOL accounts in general, right? It is what it is. Like,
Yeah,
if you got
why drag them through the coals whenever you can help them understand?
right, and again, like, that's not anything to do with us. That's a guy who's working for his bags. If he's working for his bags
Exactly.
in a dumb way,
Exactly, dude.
okay, fine. Like,
Let's help him out, dude, because he's got some reach, right? So they've got to. That's their company. That's what they do. So
I don't know if he's got any reach. Let me look on that real quick. And I'm finished monologue, and I just wanted to put that out there. Like, I'm excited about where we're at.
Me too.
And I do want people to be passionate about Stacks. I'm passionate about Stacks. I think this is a good thing. Okay, so House of Chimera, 46,000 followers. Okay, so let's put this in perspective. He's got an X score of 151 according to Wallchain. I've got 10,000 followers. I've got an X score of 111. So I mean, he's not super botted up, but he's probably got a few bots. But
everybody does. But
he's got some reach. That's great. But I don't care if he's wrong about his bags. It's got nothing to do with us. It's good that he's a voice talking about Stacks, but it just shows like he's not in the ecosystem, right?
We got to get that stacks.co like down pat. I feel like and get some new articles and stuff out there, like in the places where are they looking for this information? We need the stuff that is relevant to now going wherever they did their research. They actually may be able to, like, if we talk to them to see where they got the research, like where they did the research and stuff, that would be great. That way we can post there.
The most bullish things we can do is figure out how to decentralize things like that. Like, there should be a way, and if it's doable, we're going to figure it out. Like, there should be a way where community members should be able to submit graphics and stuff like that, and it should be some kind
of immediately blows
thing
that up.
and goes through real quick, and then bam, just there's your content. That's a lot of what I like about D-Grants is community based solutions to problems of not just protocols or the blockchain itself, but even individual, just having community made ready built solutions for X, Y, and Z. And that could be something that could be that way, right? Like, again, we don't know why. I can go all day long on the things that I think Stacks hasn't done right. I think Stacks has been very, very much a science project.
Hell yeah, dude! I agree with that take for sure.
Academically oriented. It has not come from a crypto point of view for one day. It's all been about, here's a problem, we're going to solve it. We think this is the best solution to scale Bitcoin. That's it in a nutshell. And then, so that's how it's been approached, and it's been very product based. For me personally, if I had my druthers, I would see it like way, way more into the crypto nature of what Stacks is, because Stacks is like, yes, it does do these things for Bitcoin, and it does it in very crypto ways. So, like, let's not minimize the crypto part. Let's maximize it.
Absolutely.
that's not been a
Lean into
part.
that shit. Lean into that shit because that's part of crypto.
So there's a lot of stuff I see like, okay, we could have done this better. This none of it matters. Let's just do it really good now. Let's just do it really good today, and we all have a part to play in that.
Yeah.
And we're uniquely positioned to do it because we've got so much talent in this ecosystem. It's ridiculous. We have amazing resources. How do we put those resources into action, especially in situations where the community can do things better than someone who just gets paid a salary for it, right? Like let's focus on those things.
Jack for president. That's the Don Draper of Stacks, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for Jack. Let's go, dude. Base takes all around. I think putting the power in the community is something that is very fucking. It's a limit. The sky is the limit situation, right? We talk about blue sky, like the blue sky track, right? That's that. I mean, that's where I see that Stacks AI guild. If you ask me, to be real, like that's it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
So.
I think Stacks AI Guild, it could go community, it could go blue sky. But I think that like if you look just as an example of the of what we're talking about, if you take DeOrganized is a better way to stay abreast of what's going on in Stacks than anything that's officially ever come from Stacks. And that is community run. And like that's my point. We can do that for more things. So let's look at solutions. And when it's time to be mad, let's be mad. But like when it's time to be constructive, let's do it. You know? What's up, Pep Toshi?
Yeah, he's in
Good
here.
morning, sir. How are you guys doing?
What I dude? Saw, dude.
I'm here. My
We
call
got
is
some strong
done.
beard game in the house
We
tonight.
do. We do. We
We're
got
working
some
on
beards
it.
in the house. We got some beards in the house. So
Dude, everyone lost him for a while. We got to get him back.
you know,
Slow and
it's
steady.
winter time, so it's time. It's the
That's how you
the.
know how heads down we are. It's a perfect representation of how heads down we've been.
So one thing for certain is I see 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 applications in D grants right here in the room. So I did want to talk a little bit about decentralized grants. What does everybody got going on, right? Like, so does anybody want to go ahead and say like, hey, this is what I applied for. This is what I'm working towards. Like, who wants to go? Because like there is so much talent in this room right now. It's insane.
All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. I've been pitching all day.
You got it, dude. This is another one. And
Another one. It's honestly way better here than I've been doing in all these like random AI spaces, talking to people who I have no idea who they are. Some of them I think are bots. Like honestly, I swear half of them are bots, and I'm like, I'm even talking to humans. Like, so this is a little better. But so I put in 2 proposals. Both of them were not super large. So the first one is related to the dating app that I'm building. So it's essentially a proposal to create a data marketplace similar to what Kled is doing on Solana. So they have this data marketplace. They've put out about $1 million in payouts so far with only like a few thousand users. So they're getting a bunch of people onboarded to sell their data using Solana as a payout, driving volume to the chain, getting a bunch of normies who are not normally Solana users from the App Store with like 15, 20,000 downloads in the last week or so. They got backed by some pretty big players like Andreessen, people like that. But it's actually kind of my forte. That's what I sold my last company, and that's what it actually did. So we were building out like a pretty much the largest personal data monetization exchange where you could take your data, sell it to Harvard Business School or Target or Best Buy and use it for consumer insights. So we had about 100,000 people doing that, but we never quite got to take it the full length of what I wanted to do with it. So what I'd like to do is take a lot of the data that we have on dating and create a decentralized marketplace so people can monetize it if they'd like to, but also open that marketplace up to anyone else in Web3 who wants to monetize their data. And I think it's a good idea because a lot of these companies would like to use BTC instead of Solana. Like no one wants to go, like they've got some BTC treasuries. They're not like getting into their Solana stockpile. And so I think the organizations would like it. I think if they're holding on to it, knowing that they're going to spend it over time and they buy a bunch ahead of time, then they would probably love to stake it and see that it's possible to earn yield on it through stacks. And then on the flip side, it's the exact same thing with the users, where you'll have users who are earning in BTC, and then they might want to stake it and actually earn yield and get to discover it that way. So I think it's a good way to onboard normies. I think it's like right idea, right time. I was way too early 4 years ago. No one was ready for it, and there wasn't as much money to be made. But now there is plenty of money to be made because there's a lot of AI training and stuff going on, and we've basically built our data set out to be like the most valuable holistic data set you could have for training. But we want it to be all opt-in and transparent, and I think crypto and blockchain are the perfect way to do that. So that's one of my proposals. And then the other one I put in was for my podcast. So what I'd like to do is I have just all these clips from Hermetica and Velar and Alex Lab and Charisma, and I'm trying to think who else I've had. I've had like half of stacks on my podcast at this point.
Got to get Tycho on there for you, dude.
Got to get Tycho, yes.
Tycho
I'd love to get Tycho. Yes, exactly. But one, I would like someone to just help. And this is something Melanie was kind of talking about. Maybe we can get like someone who's like a joint resource for a lot of the different media companies who can just like go through the content, find the good clips, figure out how to promote it, get it in front of people, boost it wherever they can so that they can get more eyeballs on the clips. Make sure that like when there are relevant things going on stacks, so like the Velar perp deck stuff yesterday, like I've got a whole interview with Pete from right when he first had the idea, and being able to have someone who's like, okay, Stack's main account, post this really great clip of like Peter Mark talking about how, the perp dex is coming in a year from now and he's really excited and it should be on Bitcoin. And I think we just need more like exposure to the founders and the builders. So basically just some way to get a little bit of resources, just because I don't have the time and energy to do that, but I have a ton of good content. And if I had some people helping out, I think it would be good for the ecosystem overall. So that's what I've got going on.
Damn, Skippy, dude. That is really based to hear the first part of your data monetization. Sounds fucking incredible. Sounds like very, very interesting, and it does sound like you're a little bit early. And then on the second part, like, fuck yeah, dude, we need more content surrounding what these founders are doing, with like their passions, what's going on. We need more exposure to on our founders, period.
Yeah, so tell the people story. I think that's what it's all about. And the technology story is great, but tell the people story of who's building it, why they're building it, and that's what keeps people around, is when they meet all you guys and they actually get to know you. So we just need, I think, a lot more of that, and that's what this show does really well. So just more of this, but also like, let's get smart about like promoting it and pushing it across TikTok and Instagram and Reels, and recognizing not everyone is sitting here on Twitter. Like, people are all over the place. Let's get someone who knows how to target on YouTube. Let's go hit the Doge people. And after a podcast with Doge OS, like, I want to be hitting all the Doge people, telling them, look, you can build on Doge, but you could build on Bitcoin too. Did you know that? And that's probably a somewhat similar group of people who might be interested. So I just want us to get sophisticated about that and not blow like, $100,000 on some KOL who will put out one tweet and, it's all bot followers. Like, I'm trying to think of ways that we can be a little smarter about how we spend the marketing money. So yeah.
And you could not only do that, but I mean, you could really make it fun too. I think that someone needs to make like a AI character generator. Like, we all have our own AI avatars, right? And then you could even replay those clips, using the AI, the animated type avatars. I think you're going to see more of that.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
I wonder if there's ever a conversation we can, without mentioning AI in the conversation at all. I feel like every conversation, being every day in every space, like I don't show AI at all, but
it's impossible.
Actually just have to speak about AI.
It's impossible. Like, you can't separate AI and crypto right now. Even like to what Mark was saying about selling your own data. I don't think people realize how valuable their data is, and I don't think they're going to realize how valuable it is until we start using more decentralized social media, which like Jack Dorsey's already kind of leading the charge on. That's going to become a meta. because we're training AIs for free. We're giving our data away for free. This stuff's super valuable. So as you start locking this up behind, crypto, and depending on what kind of user you are, depending on what kind of data you have, like, I don't think people have any idea just how valuable that's going to be. But that fits in with AI.
For example, like just knowing that someone had held one Bitcoin for 5 years, I could go to Coinbase and they would pay me $500 to get in front of that person because that's how valuable that person is to market to. And so it's like, what if, you actually got paid every time they tried to shill you something? Like, how nice would that be? And how nice would it be if they weighted that based on like how valuable you are to the ecosystem? Like, someone marketing to you, Jack, should be paying way more than someone marketing to some bot who has no influence, who doesn't know anyone in the ecosystem. Like,
and that's real Web3. Like, owning your data is like a pillar of Web3 philosophy, right? Like, that's one of the pillars Web3 is built on. And again, like, that's just one of those things you're just too early on. But no, it's a brilliant idea. But yeah, you can't get away from AI. Dude, like, nobody is going to use crypto the way that we use crypto right now. Nobody's going to say, oh, I need a Stacks wallet. Oh, I need a Solana wallet. No, they're going to have their own AI that's going to do all of that for them. They're going to be like, I want some Stacks, or I want some Bitcoin, or I want this. Or more likely, they're going to be like, how do I make money in crypto AI? And it's going to start giving them suggestions, and they're going to start doing those things. That's why one of our big concerns needs to be interoperability. We need to make Stacks less an island and more easily accessible for, to bridge in and out of, right? Because that is the one thing we don't have. We're not an ERC, right? We have to have our own special ways to mix in with all these other things. So we just have to focus on that, especially in the age of AI.
Yeah, AI is a huge portion of a lot of the workflows that are taking place with content creation to vibe coding, all of that. AI is making a lot of things feasible. I think that we have a Stacks AI guild for a reason, right? We've got these guys learning content creation, starting off with the workflows on how to experiment with different AIs, start at content, move on to community management, move on to vibe coding, and then like you're training people on how to build IPs, and before you know it, you got more building than in this ecosystem.
100%.
Yep, make it interoperable, make it easier to take your profiles with you, move around chains. A lot of it will be automated in the background. And the next, like, what people don't realize about the data is there's a ton of valuable information there when it comes to like yield products and understanding who is on the other side of this transaction. Are they someone that's trustworthy? How do you combine that with social graphs to understand, like, okay, Jack vouches for me. Jack's a pretty like trustworthy guy. Like, okay, maybe we can use someone vouching for you as like an alternative data source to having, a ton of history of you paying back loans, or just understanding your personality type and being able to measure it across those things. And so I think it will be interesting to see how these like Web 2 and Web 3 worlds collide as AI and big data start to enter the equation. And I think it is very important that we have decentralized social media. I think, TikTok just got acquired. And so, that's one more platform that, I probably wasn't great that China owned it, but it was at least like one of them that like the US didn't own and couldn't like totally regulate and control. And so it's like, as soon as you get someone in there who maybe disagrees with you, we might have all these problems again. So now is the time to build those systems that are like censorship resistant, where people own and control that data. And even just your chat history with ChatGPT, man, I don't trust ChatGPT having all that data. They can't be trusted with it. Meta, I don't trust them anymore. And we have a chance to maybe put our finger on the button and actually like fix social media or strengthen it so that there are alternatives right now, while there's not a lot of like pressure to keep us away from doing it. So yeah, let's get more builders on it.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
Crypto dude, you submitted a grant as well, right? You had a few, right?
Yeah.
Did you want to talk a little bit about what you got going on and maybe You know,
Sure.
this is the cool thing about D grants, right? We have all these applicants and we have all these builders in the same room right now, so we can like that's where the synergies start flowing. All the ideas start to kind of mesh together, seeing how things may work together and stuff like that in the future. So, what you got going on, dude?
Well, I'll start with I guess the one that people are more familiar with. There's we submitted a D grant for Cryptonauts, right? So we're trying to obviously get Cryptonauts off the ground and get to our season 0 MVP. We have kind of milestones laid out and what constitutes that MVP, but everybody's kind of seen us talk about Cryptonauts on the show before. The TLDR of it is, Cryptonauts is a multiplayer third-person looter shooter built on Unreal Engine 5 and stacks, and is bringing the power of blockchains to gaming, basically enabling new GameFi on stacks. So we submitted this into the creator builder track because we think content creators would be really well aligned here to start playing some games and start getting some exposure to the ecosystem that way. And games are fun. Being creative is fun. It seemed well aligned. And so we'll obviously measure success multiple ways. Battle pass purchases, skin sales, integrated protocol engagement, player participation in events, comparison between reward types and engagement to gather insight on what users want most as rewards. Obviously doing SBTC rewards to help, give, more highlight use case to SBTC in a fun way. SBTC is one of our pride and joys in the Stacks ecosystem, and we should most definitely show it as much as we can. And we're looking to basically bring modern gamers inside and outside. Well, we're trying to appeal to modern gamers inside the Stacks community and outside the Stacks community, because there's a ton of gamers out there. And if we can show how this works and show how you can have more ownership over your content you earn in game, and how that creates a more open game experience, because when you start owning the assets in games, those can be interoperable between games. Basically, you can start to create that metaverse. We've got plans for lots of different functionality, obviously. So NFTs for skins, that's character skins and weapon skins, and we even have NFT plans for abilities. Also, we have integration, basically, I guess, plans for the leveraging while the streamer is streaming, playing the game, they receive a boost.
You know what I think would be cool?
It does an in-game effect. There's all sorts of. Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah. What you got on your mind, Jack?
I think that there's a chance for audience capture here. So we know SBTC is going on Solana, right? That's one of the things that's supposed to happen via wormhole. There'll be SBTC on Solana. It'd be so cool if y'all released your token on Solana, just bought the entire supply, brought it to Stacks, made an SBTC pair, streamed that shit on Pump Fun, or at least not the whole supply, but most of it. Stream it on Pump Fun, play in the game, and that'd be your distribution mechanism to try to get eyes to bring them to Stacks. Because if it has an SBTC pair, right? Because you've made a SIP10 version of some of the token supply, you might be able to bring. You might be able to
wrap Solana asset to Stacks.
Maybe it's just a thought that literally just came to mind. But
it's most definitely an interesting idea. It was not within the scope of the grant request.
Well, no.
But I do love the idea, the bridging the trying to get more people in the ecosystem that are interested in that kind of use case, because there are people that are more into the game, gamification of blockchains, right, in Solana, and so that's a good idea. We do have plans for go ahead, GP.
A multi-chain token, right? To where it'll be wherever SBTC goes, SWI, Stacks, Solana, right? And then of course, it's going to be a wormhole. There's 40 plus more blockchains there. So integrating that NTT technology into a token per se. I don't know if Wormhole has any launching mechanisms of their own. I know they do have their own their W token, right? So
You know, there's most definitely lots of opportunities that becomes very ripe for the picking once this is up and online, in the MVP sense. But there is other, onboarding avenues that we've discussed in terms of appealing directly to gamers, which is, leveraging the Unreal Engine Fortnite creator economy that there's already exists. There's already millions and millions of dollars that are being paid out to creators in that. They've create basically game modes and maps in Fortnite. Well, we can basically import our own assets into that, and we can create a whole experience over there that basically rewards them with our Cryptonauts assets and game, components basically, and battle passes. Basically, drive them into our Discord, drive, and then from there drive them into the game, right? So we can leverage that, earn some revenue that way, take the rewards from the revenue that way, use it to generate some more rewards on stacks. There's like a flywheel there we can tap into basically. It's not just about onboarding users, it's also about having access to some revenue potentially from that creator economy, because people are interested in earning rewards. Like that's one of the more popular, or like that's some of the most popular modes and maps in that Unreal Engine Fortnite creator.
And all your tokens right now that are absolutely killing it are tokens with clear, revenue models, right? Like
exactly,
that's the meta, period.
Yeah,
That's
get a
cool,
business,
man.
get business alignment, right? So the for file like milestones and funding, we did request 5K for the Cryptonauts. We're gonna break it down into essentially 3 milestones. Proof of stacks authentication, in game basically, obviously, and then proof of stacks transactions in game. And then the final milestone would be the functional game online with obviously the above, and 2 maps and 2 modes with character skins and weapon skins. Then a client listed on Steam and a dedicated server online, with that goal to be done by September, or by Christmas, December 25th. So that's, I guess, the breakdown of the project and the milestones. There was like other points in the grant that was wanting to be discussed, but I don't think we really need to discuss that, I guess, on the call here. There was another grant though that we did. So it's just full disclosure here. We submitted 3 grants into D grants. We submitted one for Cryptonauts. We submitted one for DCast, which I'll talk about next, which we haven't really ever talked about. It's
yeah, I think
TL.
yeah.
And also Stackspot, which we'll talk about after DCast. So DCast is basically a app that gives, how do I put this? Let me just kind of flush my head of the let me flush my head of the Cryptonauts talking points really quick. Hold on.
Flip the page. Dude.
Okay. So DCast though, because it's all like, it kind of has, there's some overlap, right? We want streamers to stream the game, and this is a streamer like service. So DCast is basically stream overlays with blockchain integrations, right? So I'm not sure if people are familiar with streaming on Twitch and whatnot, but when you receive bits on Twitch, you see little pop-ups on the screen, and people see kind of like what's happening. They see that you got tipped. Well, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to give users the ability to create beautiful dynamic overlays that respond to on-chain events. So you'll authenticate with your Stacks wallet. You'll configure your overlay. You'll basically copy that overlay URL into your OBS client, and then you're good to go. So it's very simple. It's like 1, 2, 3. Connect your wallet, configure your overlay, and then add your URL to OBS. The cool thing is there's kind of a freemium model that we're shooting for, where we're basically gonna have free basic overlay, basic response, overlay event, and then the premium model which will be based on a subscription service, will be, full customization over the overlays. So, animation changes, placement, different sounds, etc. So like more configuration options to the overlays themselves rather than just a basic overlay. So this is something that I've been kind of like, I've actually mentioned it previously in streams. I've never talked about it in great detail, but I mentioned it a lot when we were kind of talking about BoostX, because we'd added BoostX as to broadcast, so you can send boost to people while they're streaming on X, right? And I was like, hey, here's an idea somebody could do, an overlay service. I mentioned it multiple times, and nobody really picked the ball up, and so I was like, yeah, I want this. I'm going to build a change, continue to build a change. And so we submitted this in there. It's got basically a 2-month timeline. Week 1 and 2 is basically wallet connection and real-time monitoring basics. Weeks 3 and 4 is overlay customizations and OBS, basically capability to copy your URL, basically. And then weeks 5 through 8 basically would be closed beta testing with some streamers and then a public launch. And so there's like key milestones and deliverables, obviously, the wallet authentication and stacks monitoring and SPTC monitoring, obviously, because this is to showcase, getting tipped Bitcoin. We want to really drive that across all the projects, right? We were trying to show that we got the fast Bitcoin, the based Bitcoin. And so we will have this wallet authentication and stacks monitoring by week 2, the overlay system live with customizations by week 4, closed beta with 5 active streamers, ideally. Obviously, that's, we got to recruit them, and I think we got that covered. And then that's by week 6, and then public launch with at least 50 on-chain overlay events in the first month. That seems like a low bar in terms of overlay events, but I'm just trying to, if that's like 10 per person, basically, at that point.
Right.
So there is a, it's kind of like straightforward. You guys have seen this type of functionality before on Twitch and other. The coolest part about this, you'll be able to do it on X, you'll be able to do it on Twitch, you'll be able to do it on TikTok, anywhere you can do live streaming. You can use OBS with. It'll just pop right in there as a browser overlay. So I'm excited about it. This will add a whole new dimension for our exposure.
It's sick, and if you think of what potential and overlap in all of the projects that you're working on, it gets very interesting to see where that leads, man. Cryptonauts is gonna Cryptonauts is cool. We've got StacksPot. Did you want to talk a little bit about StacksPot too? Because this is a pretty cool concept too.
So StacksPot is very based. So StacksPot is let me just flush my head of the decast, right? So I gotta switch gears again. Sorry, boys. It's like literally like okay. Context. Put all the context.
That's my brain all day.
Okay, so StacksPot is like, you can think of this as like a way to gamify your stacking rewards with like no risk. So everybody's kind of familiar with what a jackpot is. Everybody kind of buys the little ticket in, and then the winner takes the pot, and the winners walk away without winning, right? Well, StacksPot takes it to the next level. It's about winning yield, right? Everybody stacks in the pot together, and the winner gets the yield. That's the jackpot type. And we've submitted a D grant application for this as well, obviously. And in terms of features and functionality, there's quite a bit going on with it. This is we're me and Crypto Smith have been working on this also with Friedger, but this integrates with the fast pool. The goal is to basically give a way for people to have a fun, interesting experience that they can repeat and earn outsized rewards via the stacking protocol. That because right now stacking heavily favors whales, right? It's just like
Oh, yeah.
if you're a minnow, you're getting like, man, okay, cool, I got a little bit of some spare change or whatnot. But if you're a whale, you're like, hey, all right. But we need to increase the fun factor for the minnows, so to speak, of the ecosystem, and then that'll basically, I don't know, like, because like when you're stacking, it's like once you do like like we'll just say at fastest frequency, you're doing something once every 2 weeks, right?
Right.
Right.
Like, but if you're entering in a bunch of different pots over and over, you're like, oh, let me get in this 10 pot, but I only got to put in a minimum of 10. Let me get in this other one that's a minimum of 100. Let me get in this other one that's a minimum of 1,000. It's gamified at that point, right? It's not just boring APY. So, there's different components, but TLDR, there's going to be different types. The jackpot type, there's going to be like a Rosca type where it's sequential, and then sequential with random order. There's even going to be a crowdfunding type where the winner is predefined, so it's not like a random selection. By the way, the winner, when we say random, it's verifiably random, a verifiable random function on chain. So a VRF function on chain, so that's how the winners are chosen on the jackpot type. But when it's a Rosca type or a sequential type, there's like just sequential linear, and then like a sequential random with no repeat. So it's like, still sequential, but it's non-linear. And then, the crowdfunding type is, where the recipient is pre-known. We can get behind that. We can use that as a vehicle to crowdfund ideas. So like we kind of like have dubbed that the D grant type for the lack of a better word, right? And we can literally all stack a bunch of tokens behind an idea and get somebody some liquid, and send them out running. Get them actually excited immediately, because they can see immediate engagement that's going to result in not immediate funding, but a slightly delayed funding because it's based on the cycles. But you get the point. There's a lot there in terms of the way we can leverage it, and it excites the smaller holders because they can have outsized returns.
Yeah, and I mean, you take a lot of smaller holders, and you talk about being able to change somebody's life. You get enough people playing this game, on one setting, like the winner take all kind of setting, right? You get some serious TVL in there. People that win that are gonna make some nice change, dude. Like that's awesome. I think I like how it shows like how community focused your mind is, and at the same time you're also very focused on attracting new people into the community. Like everything you build has both of those things in mind, right? And that's you only get that from the ground floor. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't fake that. That's real.
Yeah, I want to be able to stack my stacks in Stacks Pot and then be like getting outsized gains. That sounds fun. Like, yes.
What's cool is
my principal, not having to worry about it.
The creator of the pot earns 5% of the pot, and then the closer of the pot also earns 5% of the pot, and the closer doesn't have to be the creator. So basically the winner gets 90%, but there is a small fee to deploy the pot. That's how the platform sustains, right? So there's a good alignment of incentives there. There's checks and balances, if you want to call it that, because the creator is not the one that has to close. So it's really well thought out. And I would like to most definitely give a huge credit to CryptoSmith, because he has been very involved on this one. This is his pride and joy, so to speak. And so let's make sure that everybody gives CryptoSmith a follow. And
hell yeah, that's CryptoSmith _BTC, like right now, for real. Dude's base Chad, and dude has like, he's got vibes, dude. Dude's a vibe. I'm not gonna lie. I wish we could get him in spaces, man, like in podcasts and stuff like that.
He's a little shy.
He's a little shy. Vibe. He really is a vibe.
he's a good guy.
Yeah. So, yeah, awesome shit. I think that the way that you approached, like, it's multifaceted, right? And everything's kind of interlocking. So I think that it's I mean, it's a sure win, and I think that it should be something that CryptoSmith should be proud of too. Like it's really cool. It's giving power back to the small guys, man. You can't. It's an underdog story. I love that. I love that shit. And then you're incentivizing the people to like make it worthwhile by stacking and getting 5%. It makes sense.
Yeah, one little alpha drop, down the road. I can't give obviously an exact timeline on this because it's still,
Ooh,
it's
alpha.
early to give you the exact timeline. But we'll just say as soon as possible. But StackSpot crowdfunding, obviously, like I've worked on crowdfunding projects within Stacks before we had really the tools to really make it nice and efficient with the speed and the SBTC and all that, right? So having the StackSpot crowdfund type will be, really legendary to see come online, and then also integrated eventually into BoostX. So I'll just leave it at that.
Oh
Leverage
shit!
the power of social networks plus crowdfunding stacking pots. Let's just let you guys marinate on that one.
I like my options contract.
Oh yeah, just options.
I like my option contract.
Yeah, dude.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So just wanted to say what's up to Ace, man. I know you've been hanging with us for a bit, and you tuned in a little bit ago. You with us, Ace? Might be away from the computer. What's up, Ace? Happy Monday, brother.
Oh, by the way,
so,
I was going to mention one other grant. So I'm sorry.
Oh no, you are golden, my friend.
So we did also submit a SIP31 interim grant for BoostX, specifically the roadmap completion. Basically, I'll kind of go over kind of just the milestone and deliverables. The rest of it, you guys are already familiar with BoostX, so I don't need to hammer that all down. But basically, we've already completed wallet connectivity for X and Discord. We started this basically back in February, and we have wallet connectivity for X and Discord, integration with Leather, Xverse, and Asigna. We've got multiple namespace supported, .btc, .stx, .id. We've got over 43 tokens supported, STX, SBTC, USDH, etc. We can boost from tweets and Discord messages. We can drop space drops via Xspaces with conditional eligibility and list management. We got boosting for live broadcast, featured dApps with over 36 dApps featured. We got NFT transfers inside boosting. We got integrated referral and sponsor systems with revenue splitting baked into the service fee. We've got exchange rate displays and modals. We got the Omni search field on the browser to leverage BNS searching. That's what's already been done.
The V1.2.3.4.5
Yeah, exactly. That was basically what we've done up to this point since February. Okay, and to be completed with this grant, we have the leaderboards module and modal. We already have that kind of on the website. We want to obviously integrate that into the extension. We have featured profile pages with deeper integrations, with featured projects and artists like GPE obviously has is art. We're going to get in there, and Skullcoin and Nakamoto One. We're going to have deeper integration with Zero Authority DAO bounty submitters, basically into space drops. We'll have more API endpoints. We already have 5 API endpoints live. We need additional ones to, facilitate some of the additional features, like per tweet stats. Like how many boosts did this tweet get? So we need NFT badges and or BNS badges and rocket buttons on profile pages still. We need NFT tabs on profile pages still. The BoostX, stats per tweet, like I mentioned, it's powered by that new API endpoint. We need that. We need to migrate from the browser. We need to migrate from the X only notifications to the browser native notifications, so we can, present, notifications a little more holistically. Whether or not you're getting, boosted on X or Discord, you where it doesn't matter where else you're at. If you could be on YouTube for that matter, and you would still get the notification because it'd be in your browser. So we've got multiple things still left to complete on the on the roadmap here. And so, with this grant, that's what those to be completed items are what we're aiming to complete with it.
So, also in the room with an interim grant, dude. Base, by the way that you iterate and you got the way you guys troubleshoot and ship new features is crazy. By the way, insane. You ship at an accelerated rate. It's crazy. I love the way that you iterate. It's awesome, dude. It's fantastic. See, like from beginning to end, how BoostX, whenever nightly you first started coming on nightly and started implementing BoostX, and started getting it shipped. Fucking crazy, dude. Fan fucking tastic. That
Thank you, sir.
fucking yeah, fan fucking tastic, dude. It's a lot to decipher, but it's good information to have. This is exactly what we needed. Another person in the room that has submitted an interim grant is Hero with the Stacks AI Guild. uh, how how is it looking for your proposal? Right, you did submit an interim grant, right?
Yeah, so I was just filling out all the application details today and finalizing all the milestones and stuff. Yeah, so putting in one to almost like accelerate the focus on AI. If you guys have seen, Ethereum Foundation is putting together a specialist AI team, right? You've seen how Trevor talks about leveraging the people's AI skill to bring their IP alive, right? Each
Pizza Ninjas.
piece of ninja, you want to bring that IP alive. Each one looks different. How can they leverage their community to make animations and stuff like that? But that requires some skills. So where are those skills going to come from? It's going to come from the people who know how to do it already. But you kind of want to pass that knowledge on to other people, and that learner passes that knowledge to another learner. So you keep growing the number of people who are AI knowledge up, AI equipped. I call them AI empowered, and not only benefits the individual, it benefits the whole ecosystem. But at the end of the day, I care about the individuals. I care about their growth in their own life. It gives everybody better job opportunity. Whether it's in Web 2 or Web 3. If you know how to use AI. So what I was just having a chat with 300 about, oh, can I learn a bit of that from you on a Twitter
Yeah,
space
I was
like two
there.
months ago? Like, yeah, you were there, and we just like, yeah, man, this is something that
Yeah.
we definitely should do. Uh, Not just teaching me, but 300 can teach others. And the quality that you have seen in the ecosystem is better than other ecosystem already. I'm not saying we're the best yet, but this is a chance for us for every Stacks community member to be empowered by AI. Therefore, as an ecosystem, we actually have a better shot and better chance in competing with other ecosystem. Equip the marketing people with AI, equip the developers with AI. Together, we have a flywheel of developers, marketing people. Go to market should be much quicker. Um, yeah, I just think it's a no-brainer. So I really just wanted to do it for the ecosystem. I just want to be a
Right.
learner, to
That
be
was one
honest.
of the things
And
that you brought
that's all.
up before in D grants. Whenever you were more hands on in D grants and in cohort 1 and 2, that AI had always been something that you were interested in pursuing and like understanding.
Yeah, and I was just pursuing on my own. I wanted to learn AI coding stuff from Blockface. I wanted to learn AI visual stuff from FreeHANA. And then I realized there's this huge gap nobody is doing in Stacks. I don't particularly really want at that point to lead up because I just wanted to learn. But it takes leadership to get shit done, basically. Like shit needs to get done. This is what we need in Stacks. Who is going to do it? If nobody steps up, I got to step up to build the foundation first for everybody, I guess. So I'm submitting an application for the Stacks ecosystem to have a better focus on AI. There will be AI hackathons. There will be weekly bounties of AI generated content. The biggest blocker to AI content creation, if you speak to any AI visual guy, is actually
Yep.
just the subscriptions. So this is the problem. The solution is to help people with subscription to unlock their creativities, to unlock their
Well, there is
imagination and output.
power in
So
a
this
group
is
of like-minded individuals getting together and learning something new and staying on top of the cutting edge of AI technology, learning
And
all the new.
bouncing ideas off each other, like
Yes,
getting
dude. There's
together
something
with all those
special.
yeah.
people. Yeah.
We hold our Twitter Spaces every Monday. Uh, Most of what we do are pretty public. So I mean, there is a bit of balance as to, and maybe this is something Jack should think about. It's like, yeah, we can close. In order to be self-sustainable, we might want to gate some stuff. But do we really want to gate some stuff at this
No,
point in the ecosystem?
no.
I'll probably say no. But you want that revenue. If you want to be self-sustainable, you want to, maybe I was thinking like, yeah, we can have the basic courses for free, intermediate, maybe advanced, you got to pay a small amount in order for this entity to be revenue generating. I know Jack has some other ideas about partnering with the protocols, that we are an agency to them. We
Yep.
knock out some work for them. So get some contract. We're a
100%.
contractor as well. So I like all the
I love
different
it.
ideas.
Yeah,
But
the cost of compute,
initially, let's build a
so the
foundation.
subscription costs are going to go down over time too, which even helps us make it, a little
Go even
momentum
further.
makes it even more sustainable, right? So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's
So we want to give the subscription to at least a core team, the 300, the Nosferatus, the
Yep.
Polypic of the world, and a little bit myself. And also we want to help some true learner who are really passionate
right.
with a bit of subscription. So I got a bit of budget for that as well every month. We got budgets for the moderators of the X handle. We got budgets for weekly bounties. Two types of bounty. One topic is to focus on doing for Stacks ecosystem. The other one, it's project specific. So it could be for Bitflow, could be for Rue. So two types of stuff, high level and project specific. What else we got? We got a bit of community reward if they do good work, a good active contributor, a bit of reward pool for that as well. The AI guild logo needs a bit of update. So we got a budget for Neta to refresh our logo. Yeah, so various budgets going in there.
No,
I
it's
love how it's covering. Sorry, Jack. Different content, right? Like, so I referenced one of your content, one of the contents under the Stacks AI Guild handle. The hidden risk for Clarity Devs, talking about Clarity 4, right, and why it's a good SIP. So getting started early and starting to bring awareness surrounding the SIP. The Stacks AI Guild has a lot of different use cases, and I can see it on the ground floor with all these core protocols, being a value add to this ecosystem. So, uh, also,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know all the where we would be right now 2 months ago or 1 month ago, 1.5 or maybe two. But by trial and error, you figuring out, and we are still in beta, right? And hopefully the interim grant or D grant, doesn't matter, one of which. The only difference is D grants has less money, so I only apply for 2 months to do 2 months of the work to scope it less. But for interim, we're budgeting for 4 months up until the end of February. So this is for Jack to know, I guess. Starting from November, December, January, February.
yeah. No, I think. I mean, I don't want to say anything stupid that would hurt anybody's chances at getting a grant. But I mean, if you look at where everything's at in this space, AI is unavoidable.
Yes.
And if you look,
That's my thesis too.
right,
A
well,
year
if you
ago,
look at
just
what we wanted to
I got
do at
learned.
Stacks Invaders, we wanted to make them the first NFT that was AI powered. And like when the dev team we were working with on that, the best they could get them was like, if you remember, the AI tokens of that time, where it's
Right.
just kind of like these chat. That's as good as they could get it, and we really wanted these to be more like BankerBot is, right, where it's like a very active participant. You can get it to do things, and so not having any resources really out in the open in the Stacks ecosystem to try to be like, hey, like, how do we really make something cool like this happen, prevents us from getting like building the next banker bot or
Right.
just at a very basic level. And we can't afford that right now. We can't, because
We have to
just
lean into the innovation that people are
right,
trying to bring here.
right. And so by even having an AI guild that has funding sources and all these things, it's going to not only bring attention and be, oh really, but it also becomes an academy of, to like breed talent.
Yes.
And like, you don't know what kind of apps can come out of something like this under the right circumstances. And so
Yeah.
it's important. I don't see how it's not, because we're just not going to use crypto the same way new people are going to use crypto. Like, they're going to have an entirely different experience, and you can already see it in the Stacks ecosystem because of the AI guild, how much better our material looks in post. Right, we've got really awesome post. Back in the day, you needed an artist to,
Shit. What's up, buddy?
you know,
I'm sitting out here just building gifts by hand for
right.
all of 2024, bro.
I mean, it's a simple question. Do you want to hire a 300 who doesn't know how to use leverage AI, or do you want to hire a 300 AI
100%.
Right.
empowered 300? Like, he can output so much more now. It's just incredible, and just quality and the volume. I mean, business just need to get shit done, and if you can do so much more, why wouldn't you? Why would you want somebody who is like university graduate of graphic design? It doesn't make sense. Like, that person need to
Yes.
learn AI to compete
Absolutely.
in the market.
I got to
Creativity
roll,
is everything.
guys, but it was
Jack.
fun. We'll do this again. I
Yeah.
look, just last thing to leave y'all with. If you hadn't got your grant submissions in, get them in. Like, this is a really cool time in the ecosystem. Like, I can't remember a
is.
time like this.
It's
Like,
cool.
so
Yeah, Jack. By the way, one of our little deliverables in the I told you before is we want to do like an introductory day of boot camp in the Stacks AI Guild, and I would love for you
Oh,
to be one of our
hey.
speakers to cover the DeFi terminal, because I don't believe just having I believe it's a hub for learning everything AI. You come to Stacks because of this. Maybe one of your incentive to come is to come and learn everything AI. You will learn AI visual content. You earn AI dev, and you will also learn AI terminal. That all of them have something in common,
Yeah.
which is prompting. You need good prompts to be able to generate good work. And I think your skill that you played around in that field also has a lot of learnings that you could share with others as an introductory day to give people a bit of sneak peek. And we're planning to hold at least one event every month or something like
No, it'd
that.
be cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking
It's all
forward
about
to
the JSONs, man.
it.
All
Yeah.
about them JSONs, man.
Later, guys. I had a lot of fun.
Have a
I'll
good one,
y'all. See y'all on the flip side.
Later, brother.
Have a good one, Jack.
So yeah, man, I feel like I'm very bullish on what is going to come out of D grants, interim grants, the Stacks AI Guild. Mark, I think what you're working on is very interesting. Crypto dude, of course, I think that they're getting people like builders in the same room and talking about what we're building is so important, right? It's kind of where you can hear different insights think about things differently, right? And this network needs to survive within D grants. Is one of the most valuable things that comes out of D grants. We've talked about this before, and now D grants does not have a home base like it did before in a console, right? So maybe let's kind of try to as applicants try to push for that, because we need to cater to this connection that we're building right here in this room.
I really like applicants coming
I do
up
too, and
here to
I'll
talk.
host it
Actually, I think
anytime,
I
anytime.
really like. They should go to spaces for sure too, and here, and maybe like a little bit earlier on in the during
Right.
the when they open, when they first open, some of the applicant can also join and share their a proposal. You know, whether they have written it up or not, but just share the idea, proposal, chime in, get into the integrate into the community. You know, they are much more likely to stick around if so.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Firsthand, right? Like I was this applicant in D Grant's cohort too. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to build yet. I didn't know which direction I like was mine in that time, but I knew I wanted to contribute something, right? And what I got out of it is I got to meet a bunch of great builders that are like-minded, passionate, talented people. That was like fuel for my creation engine. So I feel like yes, we need to have these as often as possible, and also just have somewhere to go to where builders can come and speak freely together, and have it like somewhere they can reference to, like a safe haven. So I want to be able to see and facilitate these conversations as much as I can, but I think that having a clear home base would be fucking fantastic too. We can log these episodes where it's like a deorganized nightly or whatever it is. Uh, Log all of the conversations we had, whether it's in text, video format, whatever conversations, and be able to reference it. So there's power in this, man. I feel it. I feel it. It's gonna be It's gonna be exciting. You know, I think that where we're headed is a lot brighter than it's ever been. Last year stacks ran to 380, right, and we're all the way down. We're about 58 cents right now. My conviction's unchanged. We have more opportunities here than ever before, and we have bigger integrations coming, as well as um, more empowered builders. Like, people are learning and wanting to use the tools that are at hand to create and provide a two-way street of value. They're figuring it out. It's so cool to see the ones that stick it out regardless and want to build something, continue regardless. The ones with real conviction and know that this is you know so early that it hurts, so to speak. So our future's so bright that we need shades, fellas. Simple as that. That's how I feel. That's how I've always felt. So
Yeah, uh, I'll add to that. The tech between what we had at all-time high versus what we have now is night and day difference. We have way better tech now than we ever had at all-time high. Plus, we have way better tools that are outside the ecosystem too that we can tap into, like between AI and all the advancements all across multiple industries. So like, it's time to build.
And just the macro is so good. The regulations have literally never been better. I could have never imagined a world where it was going to be this much blue sky for builders to build. Like, this is insane. And people do not realize, like, today alone, I talked to a guy who used to work for Saudi Arabia's $900 billion sovereign wealth fund and just exclusively worked on crypto stuff, and like now they're going to start investing in the US, and that's going to spur this whole generation of entrepreneurs. And most of the use cases are going to be around BTC, not a lot of this other shit. That's the safest use case for any capital. So people don't realize that there are walls of money we cannot even fathom about to enter the market. And we are very well positioned here where we are. And I think really what it takes is just like a dedicated group of like builders who trust each other and build really cool stuff and don't just copy paste everything else, like build new innovative stuff and push the boundaries. And like, I'm still here because I think that's what we have here. We have like some really incredible people. They're trustworthy, they're honest, they know why they're doing it, they're willing to do it even when there's literally no good reason to be doing it other than you believe in it. And that's how you, like, you sort out the people who are going to ride or die and actually make it happen. So I think it's been rough, but at the same time, like, I mean, we're talking about the future of the global economy here. This is no small feat. So there is a lot at play. There are a lot of very powerful people and interests at odds with each other, but we're pretty well positioned, and most people have no idea what's coming. And all the writing is on the wall. So we just have to survive and build cool stuff. And I think, I totally agree. Like if 1% of the SIP balance went to the people on these stages, like we'll be fine. There you go. Like that, we totally would be, is the crazy thing. We've learned to do so much with so little, and the tools are empowering us to 10x or 100x ourselves. People who didn't maybe have the skills now do have the skills, and we have a ton of really talented, dedicated people who are willing to learn the skills. We just help each other out.
Hell yeah.
I think we can do it.
Hell yeah, dude. That's one thing about this community, is that like we all kind of uplift each other. It's gonna like move eventually to from a space that is like so collaborative that it's competitive, which is good, which will drive innovation. But we're at that sweet spot in time of our ecosystem where it's like, dude, what you building on? Let me see what you got going on, And I love that. It's like something really cool to witness. It feels early, and it's got some charm to it about this ecosystem. I love the way everybody just kind of works together to push the foundation of what we're building out just a little further together. So
yeah, we encourage collaboration, and we also encourage competition, which is
yes,
both very healthy. So we're gonna, we've already accomplished so much from a technical point of view, and we've already accomplished so much from a community point of view. Like really, it's just about building out. We're basically at the point where we're limited by our imaginations. Really, that's the bottleneck.
Literally, and the more we talk to each other, bounce all ideas off each other, like it'll come. So I feel good. I feel like the worst is behind us. And we just gotta honestly just not eat each other alive. I think that's the whole key. Like, don't eat each other alive. Don't get pissed and start little dumb spats and drama. Like, let's just build.
let's just build, dude. That's it. Simple, and help where you can. Right. We're all human, and I want to see everybody do well in this space. We're all early, and that's where we're at, man. In it together. Let's just keep building cool shit, man. Simple, innovating, and providing cool experiences. Guys, we are about around that hour and a half mark. I did want to go around the room. Any final thoughts? Any closing statements? High frequency vibes to the ethos. Mark, my man, what's going on, dude? What's on your mind?
I am just finishing up our web app, so I'll put that out pretty soon here and let you guys play around with it. It's pretty sick. You can put up your profile. It's just an aggregated social profile of all your socials, and you can ask the bot any questions about yourself and like connect with anyone. So it is kind of like a decentralized social network that I'm trying to build out here. So that's what I've been working on, distracted on this call. But aside from that, I don't know. Sometimes you gotta do what it takes and know why you're doing what you're doing. I don't know. I'm gonna have to sell my car in a couple days here, which I've not been looking forward to, but I'm gonna double down on myself. And I would say double down on yourself is the rule of thumb. And usually things start to work out once you run towards the fear. So I've learned that lesson, and aside from that, the homies will always be there for you. The homies from this ecosystem have always been there for me when I need it. And, even if I don't have money, I don't have this, that, if I know how to do things and I'm capable of executing them and I have good friends around me, then I'm fine. So build that network, and that network is here on this stage. So it's a good place to make some friends.
Damn Skippy, dude. Damn Skippy. I'm so glad that you came on and shot the shit with me tonight, dude. You gotta come through, man. I missed your face, dude. Hey, go front. Thanks for coming, buddy. Crypto dude, any final thoughts, closing frequencies, like, shameless shows, all that's allowed. You know how it goes, man.
Yes, shameless shills. I'll get those out of the way really quick. Go ahead and get BoostX installed from the Chrome store. And if you're a mobile user, I don't want to hear, oh, what about mobile? It can be used on mobile. If you're Android user, I can't help you with Apple. I'm sorry. They don't like your freedom. There's nothing I can do about that. But if you're an Android user, get the Mises browser. Then you can get Leather installed and BoostX installed from the Chrome store via your Mises browser. You can use X and Discord in your Mises browser. The trick there is using the Mises browser. Okay, so shameless shield done with BoostX. Oh, by the way, don't forget to leave a review if you got it. We appreciate those.
To the Chrome store.
On the Chrome store, exactly. So I'll leave it at that on the shilling for BoostX. Obviously, we have other things cooking that we're working on. Cryptonauts, Dcast, StacksPot. There are some other things that are not in grant form, but I'll just let you guys know that we hammer nonstop around here. So
we keep the hammer and nails around.
Literally, the hammer. Only time we put the hammer down is when we gotta let it cool off. You know what I'm saying? Because it's glowing red hot.
I love it, dude. I love that the hammer gets hot. Gotta let it cool off. You've been cranking too hard. Ace, are you with us, brother? Any final thoughts? Any closing frequencies? Closing statements? I think he's eating dinner and stuff. We love you, Ace. I hope that you had a very great start to your week, my brother. And last but certainly not least, and here's the dog coming to tell me, hey, you still streaming? What's up? Bruce says, what's up, guys? Hero, how are we doing tonight? Any final thoughts, closing frequencies for the ethos, brother?
Just final message that actually today I got Blockface and CryptoDude to commit a bit of work for as part of our grant as well. So they will be helping me building out the AI developer side. So 300 Nos and Bo and I will focus on getting the AI visual content side up. So we should have at least a good foundation for AI developers in this grant application as well. So yeah, just watch out. And if you want to support us, drop a comment in the GitHub to say you really like this or you don't like it. Also let us know. Want to know like what you like to see. So yeah, just keep watching. I'll also apply to D grants as well, just in case like it's not open grants is not suitable, but I'll adjust the amount down, rescope it to 2 months instead of 4, etc. So, but I'm just glad today got some commitment from CryptoDude and Blockface, and I think they're gonna do a great job minting new leaders. It's about them sharing their knowledge to somebody else, and the ethos that we have is that person that Blockface taught gonna teach another person, so you pass it on. So we're gonna mint more AI leaders.
Damn Skippy, dude, let's build Skynet. Let's go. Thank you, Hero. I appreciate you, man. And definitely.
I didn't know I was supposed to tell people to go to go interact with my SIP interim grant. So go do that too.
Go to the GitHubs, guys. Go to the GitHubs. Post them to the timeline so people can see it. Pin it on the profile so they can go look at it. That way people can go comment on your GitHub repositories and for your interim grants and all that jazz, man. But yeah, dude, thank you for coming through and spending your most valuable asset with me, which is your time, fellas. Like I appreciate this more than you know. Like I always love shooting the shit with you guys, and I could do it forever, man. Thank you for always bringing the high frequency vibes and kicking ass in this ecosystem. Y'all have a great. Yeah, let's go. Y'all have a great rest of your night.
Let's go.
There, guys.
Go.
And this has been another based episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars together that are building in the Bitcoin ecosystem via stacks and talk about what is being built on top of Bitcoin. Really, really cool time in our ecosystem where there is just so much building going on that it's really hard to keep your ear low enough to the ground to catch it all. But somehow we managed to do it on DeOrganized. Be sure to follow DeOrganized BTC on X. Go to YouTube, go to DeOrganized Media and give it a subscribe. Click that button right there. Go watch some videos, click the like buttons, all that jazz. Be sure to tune into the Let's Go Morning Show at 8:30 a.m. ET Monday through Friday, along with DeOrganized Nightly at or around 7 p.m. ET Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I do have soccer. I am coaching little ones, 4 and 5-year-olds. Go Team Rampage. And yeah, man. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are GP's days off. We are not doing the nightly. But anyways, keep the high frequency vibes going around you. Do not let the market shake you out and make you lose your convictions. Remember where you're at. Pay attention to the signal and not the noise, which is the FUD. Things are going in the direction that we need right now, which is more builders, more building, more community getting empowered and learning new skills. So hyper bullish on it all. You guys have a great rest of your night, and I shall see you tomorrow on the morning show. Catch you later. Peace.